How do we put fractions in order? Well, one of the ways that you can do it is to rewrite them as equivalent fractions so that they have the same denominator. What does that mean? So here's an example. We're supposed to put these fractions in order from lowest on the left. So put the lowest number on the left. So from least to greatest. So what I would do is I would take all of the denominators and I would start with the largest denominator, which in this case is 8. And I could count by 8s until I get a number that all three numbers can be divided into evenly. So 8, that doesn't work because 3 does not go into 8. 16 does not work again because 3 does not go into 8. And then 24 works because 24 divided by 3 would give you 8. So I now need to write an equivalent fraction that would, or for all of these fractions. So 3 over 8 becomes, if I have a denominator of 24, that means I'm multiplying by 3. So I multiply the top by 3, the numerator by 3, and that gives you 9. That means that my 3 over 8 is now 9 over 24. 3/4, if that has a denominator of 24, that's because I'm supposed to multiply 4 by 6 to get 24, because 24 divided by 4 is 6. So times 6. And what I do to my denominator, I do to my numerator. So 3 times 6 is 18. And for 2/3, if that had a denominator of 24, I'd have to multiply 3 by 20, or 3 into 24, so 3 times 8, because 24 divided by 3 is 8. 3 goes in 24 8 times, whichever way you like to say it. And so that means that 2 times 8 would give you 16. So now I can see that since the denominators are all the same, 9 over 24, 18 over 24, and 16 over 24, all I have to do is put them in order from least to greatest by the numerators. So 9 is the least, 16 would be next, and 18 would be the largest. That would mean that 3/8 is first, 2/3 is next, and 3/4 would be last. So 3/8 was first, 2/3 was next, and 3/4 was last. Let's try another one. 9/10, 5 over 12, and 5 over 6. Well, this time I'm going to take my largest number, which is 12, count by 12s. So that's 12. Doesn't work because of 10. 24 doesn't work because of 10. 36 doesn't work again because of 10. 48 again because of 10. And then 60. 60 works. So ultimately, I'm going to write equivalent fractions where all of the denominators are 60. So if I take 9 over 10, 9 over 10, and making an equivalent fraction with a 60 in the denominator, that means I have to multiply 10 by 6. So I multiply 9 by 6, and that gives me 54. If I take 5 over 12 to make an equivalent fraction with a 60, I multiply 12 by 5 to get 60, so I have to multiply 5 by 5 to get 25. And then 5 over 6, to make that a 60, I have to multiply 6 by 10 to get 60. So I have to multiply 5 by 10 to get 50. So now I know that my fractions will go in order from least to greatest as looking at the numerators, 25 would be first. 25 is first. That's the least. 5 over 6 would be second. And then 9 over 10 is the greatest because that's 54. So it should be, if I rearrange these now, it should be 5 over 12 is first, 5 over 6 is second, and 9 over 10 is third. So all I have to do is slide 9 over 10 all the way to the end, and that's it. Let's try another one. This one is actually easy because I can automatically see that 100 is divisible by both 5 and 10. So that means that I can rewrite them as equivalent fraction. So 61 over 100. I don't have to do anything to that, so I just rewrite it as 61 over 100. The second one, 2/5, if I put that over 100, that means I'm multiplying by 20. So I multiply 2 by 20, and that gives me 40. And the third one, if I take 1 over 10, to make that a fraction with a denominator of 100, I have to multiply 10 by 10. So I have to multiply 1 by 10 to give me 10. So now I have to put them in order from least to greatest. So my smallest fraction will have the smallest numerator, which is 10. So that means then that 1 over 10 is my smallest. 40 over 100, which is 2/5, is second. And 61 over 100 would be third. So I need to say 1/10, 2/5, and 61 over 10. All right, so that's pretty much it. If you do the same thing over and over, it's inevitable that you will end up putting them in the right order as long as you rewrite them with the same denominator, with a common denominator, and then put them in order by the numerator.